so now I'm going to go on and show you a little video on making a recipe and things that happen that you can do while you're cooking something. So let's just go to that next.
All right, so let's go on and have a look at what we can do when we're actually cooking something. So I've just chosen this Thai green broccoli and spinach soup, and we just scroll down. Now from here, just say, for instance, you don't want to do a first part of a recipe. This could be in a recipe that has two separate parts to it. So let's say a cheesecake that has a crumble topping or something like that, and you want to start your Thermomix halfway through a recipe. So you can actually click on any step here and it will go straight to that part of the recipe. If you want to go back, there is an ellipsis at the top here, and you can actually go back to recipe detail and scroll down again and go back to the beginning of the recipe. So this little ellipsis at the top here, when clicking on it, you can see you can open the preview, which is a preview of the whole recipe. You can have a look at the recipe details. So that's the front of that recipe that I just showed you, where you can see all the steps. You can go to scales, or you can cancel a recipe. So if you are halfway through a recipe, the recipe actually doesn't say how much something weighs. I want to weigh it. You can go here, scales, go to the scales, weigh your garlic, close that, and it will go back to the step you are up to. Then you can actually cancel a recipe. So if you are halfway through a recipe and you only wanted to do the crumble section, you've done the crumble and now you want to go on to something else, you can go cancel, and that will cancel that recipe and go back out. But I'm going to say no so that we can keep going through here and seeing what else you can do. So we know that you can go next, next, next. I've got some water in this Thermomix at the moment, so I can actually make it do something. So here I am putting my Thermomix on, and you can actually preview steps here by clicking on next, next, next preview. It will actually go back to where you are up to, so you don't actually have to go back. You can go preview. So look, we've got 34 seconds, preview, next, 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 next. And we'll just wait for it, and in 26 seconds it's going to go back to where you were up to on that recipe. Here it tells you what stage you're at. This is what this means. So if this recipe has 26 steps, there will be 26 of these little tabs here that show you what stage you're up to. All right, so we've got 1 second, that's it. Now, we've gone back to exactly where we were up to with that recipe so that we can continue on. Okay, and with your TM6, you'll see that there are sometimes some little videos that you can play. There'll be more of these with the TM7. Of course, it won't be this particular one because there's no hole in the lid in your TM7. But this is showing you how to use your spatula through the hole in the lid to keep everything moving inside, and you can close that and it will go straight back to where you are up to. Okay, has anyone learned anything yet?
Oh, yes.
Good. Yep. Awesome. All right, so as I said, if you find that you can't see something that someone else can see, check to see if you're on the website or the app. And that could be the first thing. Your phone will look different to anything else that's got a landscape view. The phone is a different app. Things are all there still. The only thing that you won't see on your phone is when you go to your account, you won't see this. So here I have got my membership here, and I can pay on my website. I can pay, I'm pretty sure I can do it on my iPad as well, but on the website or on the app on my PC, I can do it, but you can't do this on your phone. When you go to your phone, I don't know whether this is something that they're going to stay with, but on your phone, you can't actually pay your membership or put your account details in there. So you can see here, a lot of people say to me, I don't know what I'm on, what account I'm using, which Cookidoo am I on, because there was a 2.0 and a 3.0. You won't be able to utilize some of the things because it just didn't have the capability to do the things. So the things are created recipes. So when I go to created recipes, these are all my recipes that I have put into my Cookidoo. So a lot of these are shared, so that means they're on my website and you can see them as well. But these are in Cookidoo, and if you don't have this, then that means you have 2.0. So yeah, that's how to tell the difference between 2.0 and 3.0. Bookmarks we were talking about, so you understand those now, how I use them. I'm not sure how anyone else uses it, but that's how I use them. It just seems like a smart way to collect that information. Once I've made a recipe and I've gone, yeah, I like that, actually, I put it in a collection. So what I've done is I've made a whole lot of collections here for different things. So say I want to cook chicken tonight and I don't know what I'm going to cook. I can go to my collections, click on chicken, know that I've made these before and I like them. So I've stuck them in this collection. Making collections are super easy. You can click on here where it says create recipe list. And let's see, I'm going to put in here Lynn because you're here. Lynn's favorite recipes, and it will make a new collection for me, which will be, I've put this in alphabetical order, which is something that I learned last week. I'll show you how to do that. So Lynn's favorite recipes here, which has got nothing in here at the moment, but I can click on discover new recipes, explore a recipe like this one, and you would add it to a recipe list, and this one is Lynn's favorite. So that's how you do it. Sorry, they changed that a little bit. Every so often they update things, and it does work better. But yeah, it's just like confusing when they first change it.
So just the continuation of that, what you've just talked about, of putting it into the collection. If we'd had that recipe that you had to try there the first time, if we cooked it and we didn't like it, we can then delete it.
Yes, we can. So let's go back down. So just go down to Lynn's recipes. Oops, Lynn's favorite recipes, which is here now. You can actually get it and you can remove it. And say if you wanted to remove this whole section, you just go edit and you go delete recipe list. And that removes the whole list. Yeah. So I've put things under, like a lot of the time you might go, well, I've got a protein that I've got to cook. So I've got chicken, I've got lamb. High heat is one of my favorites. I've put a collection of high heat recipes that I like to go to actually find something that'll sear something or more than just saute, so brown. So here I've got a collection of, this is 400 grams of mushrooms. So if I wanted to brown mushrooms, so this is sauteed, so it wouldn't be that one, it would be caramelized. So this one here's caramelized onions. So the difference between saute is to cook without color. There's sweat, saute, and caramelize. So they're the three different options you have. So caramelized onions would be browning them. So I've saved this one knowing that if I click on this recipe and go cook today, that will send that straight to my Thermomix. And I know that I can put in my Thermomix 400 to 500 grams of ingredient. My Thermomix doesn't know that it's onion, so it could be anything. I can put that in there and it will go straight to high heat and caramelize what's in there. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I use that. The TM7, you're going to be able to use high heat mode without having to find a recipe. But with your TM6, having this here, Beck's favorite high heat list, that is awesome because you can actually just go straight there, know that you can put that amount. So I've got a series of different ones, because if you put a recipe here and it says to put 400 to 500 grams of something in your Thermomix and you only put 100 grams, your Thermomix knows how much weight is in there and it will stop you. So you've got to find something. If you've only got, 200 grams of something, find a recipe that states that, so that you can put the right amount of weight in. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then, of course, the other thing is just remember that if you are going to put, if you wanted to saute something that was really wet, like caramelized onions, let me just have a look at this one. Open it up. So it says to put all of the onions in at this temperature, and it's going to cook them, and then you add vinegar and salt and cook it again. So some recipes will tell you just to put half of the ingredients in, take them out and put half back in again and cook it again. And the reason why it does that is, just think about what would happen on the stove. If you had a pot on the stove and you put 500 grams of meat in, I think we all know how much 500 grams of meat is, because when we buy it from the supermarket, you buy a kilo or 500 grams. If you put a kilo or 500 grams of meat in a small pot on the stove, it's just going to stew. So it will do the same thing in your Thermomix. So you've just got to make sure that you put the right amount in for the right recipe.